Everything you want in life is on the other side of caring what people think about you. The moment you stop caring about their opinions is the moment you can actually start that channel, the moment you can actually sell that artwork, the moment you can actually build that business. And for the longest time, I told myself that I should care about other people's opinions because this was the smart thing to do. I believed that understanding their opinion would in fact lift my own creations upwards. I believed that listening to feedback would make me a better artist. All of that was a lie. Listening to feedback is what dumb people do. Improving their artworks and business ideas and everything based on the feedback of other people is for dumb fucking losers. Let's take a masterpiece and analyze this misconception that masterpieces can be created with feedback, with listening to the feedback. Let's say that you are writing something, a comment on a particular artwork or a particular video. A lot of people believe that you can in fact express your experience of the artwork, express your experience of the thing with words. People believe that that is possible. Nobody has ever proven that that is possible. Nobody has ever shown us that that is in fact possible. But everybody believes that that is possible. I don't agree with that. I don't think it is in fact possible to express what you actually experience, the reason why you love the song, the reason why you love the movie, the reason why you love the artwork cannot actually be expressed with words because the reason goes beyond words itself. And so if you want to critique or if you want to make your art better through feedback, then you are missing the point. You miss the most important part. And so you're constantly shifting your focus from working on the most important parts to working on things that can be expressed in words. And what I just said about critique brings us to the second point, because what I just said is something that everyone inherently understands. Everyone knows that words come too short. Everybody knows that. And so when they are giving critique, they know it's inherently stupid. They know it's dumb. And so what do they do when they know it's dumb? Subconsciously, what do? They try to make it as smart as possible so it's not dumb anymore. And so now, when they are giving critique and when they're giving their opinions, they are trying to do it in the smartest way possible so that they don't look like a fool. And they're trying to do this with all sorts of rhetorical devices, with all sorts of wordplays and puns that they use to make it sound smart. But here's the thing. A dumb thing done in a smart way is still a dumb thing. You can't actually transform stupidity into beauty with smarts. And so they're trying to do this, but obviously failing all of the time. Doing the wrong thing in a smart way is still doing the wrong thing. Listening to other people's opinions, even your teacher's opinions, even the people that are trying to help you, not just a negative critique, but the people that are trying to help you, is a waste of your time, because what you're doing prior to listening to the feedback is great. When you're making your masterpiece, you're in touch with your emotions, you're in touch with the higher self, so to speak, with some kind of, I don't know, esoteric, godlike, vibrational, higher form of creativity, whatever you want to call it. You're in touch with that and you're creating. And then you will listen to the feedback, meaning that you will take your attention from the non-verbal and you will now put your attention on the verbal, on that which can be communicated with words. But that which can be communicated with words is just not important. It's not the important part. It's not the reason that people love movies. It's not the reason that people love music. If it can be put in words, then you could create a stepping plan to make movies, and you could create banger movie after banger movie. But that's not what's happening in the world. AI can't create banger movies. Why? Because it goes beyond words. Great creations go beyond the mere verbal. And so when you are listening to feedback, even good feedback, you're focusing your attention from something that matters to something that doesn't fucking matter at all. Now that we know that feedback is absolutely useless and should never be listened to, let me give myself some feedback. Let me give the channel some feedback. Because we could say the same thing about advice giving. Giving advice. I used to believe that this was very powerful. I used to believe that this was what I should be doing. I should be giving people advice so that they can lift their souls up and become better artists. But recently I came to the conclusion that advice giving doesn't work for the same reason that critique giving doesn't actually work. Here's the thing. If you give advice, the amount of coincidental alignment, the amount of luck that needs to befall on that situation where a person is receiving advice and you are giving advice, planetary alignments, for this to work is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. The situation that the person finds themselves in needs to be exactly correct. The advice that is given needs to be exactly correct and resonating with that specific person. The understanding of their problems and context in which they are behaving needs to be happening exactly correct, perfectly, for the advice to be useful to them and be something that works. And so this doesn't actually happen in real life. I used to believe that only 10% of my advice or my videos or my messages would be lost in translation. Now, in recent times, I came to the conclusion that it is probably more likely 97%. 97% that is lost in translation. People that misinterpret things. People that interpret things for their situation which it was not meant for. People that are in a different position in life, where the advice doesn't actually help them in any way. People that are etc, etc. And so this whole advice giving on YouTube is largely a waste of time as well. The only thing advice giving can actually do is inspire people to take action, is inspire them to do the thing that they actually know they should be doing. That's the best that advice giving could result in. And now we arrive at the most important part of this whole video. The one thing that will allow you to get rid of all of the opinions of other people. Everything. You will never give a shit about it anymore. Never will it prevent you from doing what you think you should be doing. If you are, and I know most of you are not, but if you are that person that writes negative hate comments, if you are that person with negative hate comments in your fingers, you are an absolute fucking moron. You are the dumbest of humankind. You are so fucking stupid. You have no idea how stupid you are. You have so much time on your hands that you will go in the comments and actually write down all of that hate inside of your fucking mind because you have nothing better to do. Now, what these people that do that, which is not you, what these people that do that don't understand is that they are creating a worldview in which people are doing that. Because they are doing that themselves. And now in that worldview, they are going to be afraid. That is one of the reasons, the most important reason they care about other people's opinions, because they are themselves people that have all of these opinions about other people. And so that's it. They create this worldview for themselves. And in that worldview, they become terrified. The quickest way to become afraid of what people will say about you is by saying all sorts of terrible things about other people. I guarantee you, inside of my mind, today, there is zero fucking opinion, ever. I guarantee you, if you would not critique a single person for a whole 2-year periods, that all of those voices, all of those fears about other people's opinions will dissipate into nothingness instantly. This is one of the problems with the weak 21st century. In the weak 21st century, we believe that we should show respect to people. We believe that friendliness is the most important thing, especially in the West. We believe that when somebody writes a negative hate comment, that we should like their hate comment and heart it so that everybody sees that we don't care about it and that we're standing above this hate comment. We believe that we should take all forms of feedback and turn it into progress, into building ourselves upward. And this is why the 21st century is so weak. This is why we have weak souls being afraid of weak opinions of weak people while they are doing weak things that shouldn't have been done in the first place. Because everybody values these low-level loser activities and believes that we should treat those loser activities with respect. And the question becomes, well, are these the winner mentalities? Are these things that winners from the history do? What do the greatest of all time do? With feedback and critique. With the critique people. With the normie critique people. Caravaggio, for example, the inventor of chiaroscuro. Similar to a 21st century guy who invented painting with linings. What does Caravaggio with his chiaroscuro do? He has this show in a gallery. And some random person comes along, walks in the gallery and critiques the chiaroscuro elements in the paintings. What does Caravaggio had to say about that? He said to the guy, he helped the guy outside of the gallery. And then he said, you come in my gallery, looking at my fucking paintings, in my fucking show, and you are going to tell me about chiaroscuro. You know what? Let's duel to the fucking death. And he challenged the guy to a duel to the death. That is what these masters do with critique people. They don't give a shit. They trash those heads of those critique people to the fucking ground. How do you little normie think you have anything to say about my stuff? You come in here with your lack of capacity, with your lack of talent, with your lack of vision, and you come in this gallery explaining people what you think about my paintings. Get the fuck out, bro. This is the perspective of these superstars. Do you believe that Picasso gave a shit about the critics? Do you believe that Picasso cared about what the critics had to say? Cared about what these loser fake news journalists had to say about his work? Of course not. None of these guys care about that. And so here you are, caring about what other people's opinions are of you, of your work, of you doing some TikTok dances. What are they going to say? What is my family going to think if I go online and start making videos? What if I actually pursue this art career? What are they going to think about that? This is all one big clown show that you should simply not give a shit about. Talking about Picasso, I have a video where I explain how Picasso found his art style, the strategy that you can use called Find Your Art Style Fast, doing one thing only. Link in the description and the end screen. That's it. Get the hell out of here.